You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. No fluff, just their experiences and stories from people who are making it happen. And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocalwarmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals. Now, on to the show. Welcome. You've come across the Live Local Marketing Podcast, and today we're with Sheila. Ma'am, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Awesome. Ready to go. She's a chief marketing officer with over 25 years experience in brand development, transformation, global loyalty program management, loyalty strategies, marketing, partnerships, CRMs, integrated marketing across B2C, B2B at Disney. That's a good one. JPMorgan Chase, Choice Hotels, Axiom Bank, big people. And she has a passion for great brands and tackling complex marketing challenges and new initiatives in creative environments. So that's why we brought her on here today to partake in all of her knowledge. Are we ready to go with the questions, man?
Let's go. Yeah, let's bring it on.
Let's do it. So first, as an entrepreneur, what is your first win?
Okay, first big win. So I started my business in May of 2023 as an accidental entrepreneur. And I would say that it took me until the next summer to really get the first big win. All of my business has been referrals. And someone shared my name after. She was like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage in a couple months. Like something's got to give." And she shared my name. And 2.5 weeks later, I signed a private equity merger of two healthcare staffing businesses in a big 6-figure branding and marketing strategy and creative development deal.
So you say accidental, like, what does that mean? Accidental? Like, what is the word accident?
I never dreamed of being an entrepreneur. It's just, I was in corporate America, and it was the first time I didn't survive a layoff after like literally 3 dozen layoffs across all these big businesses. I'm just like, I guess I'm supposed to do this. So I just took all my superpowers from my career and I said, I'm just going to start a business doing branding and marketing strategy and some loyalty and partnership stuff and part-time CMO. And then look, here we are. But the first big win, that was the thing that cracked the code on everything, that really unlocked the fact that it felt like, wow, this could really be a real business, right? I don't need to go back to corporate America again because I didn't want to.
What is one extremely fun thing that you didn't expect when you started your own business?
You know what? I love saying no now to projects that I don't want to take on. You know, when you have a full-time job, there's always like the stuff that you love to do, and then there's like the other stuff, and you can't say no to it because it's just part of the gig. I don't have that anymore.
You just say no whenever you feel like it.
It feels really great. It's very freeing.
Take days off. You can do the things. Of course, you're not working on those days, but you can take them off.
I don't take days off.
I don't take days off. All right. So let's shift gears. So you've worked with a lot of huge companies with budgets. Let's talk about the medium to small people. They don't have those giant budgets. How do they compete and keep up with like some of these giant conglomerations that you've worked with over the years?
Okay, well, one, when you think about your competitive landscape, if you were to draw an X and Y axes and create these quadrants, think about, where does your business fit? Are you really competing with those big brands? Probably not. And so I would say, one, put it into context about who's your competitive set. And then I would look at, what are they saying and where are they marketing themselves? And where's the white space for you? Where are they not? Or what's a message that you can claim and own that they're not claiming in those same channels, so that you create your own opportunity, right? And then I would also say, it doesn't have to be expensive. Try some things, iterate, test and learn and optimize. If you're using Instagram, test some paid ads, set the budget for $20 a day for 10 days, and just learn your way into it. It doesn't have to be big. I don't go like multiple channels and platforms all at the same time. Learn one, and Instagram tends to be less expensive than some of the other ones.
So when you look at a bigger business, how do you find the white noise? Like, it's not sometimes as easy as it sounds. Like, how do you find those little gaps? What do you do with the client?
Well, one, I think you have to be incredibly self-aware. So once I do the competitive landscape, then we work on their branding and think about what's really ownable to them. What's a brand promise? What's a point of difference that's very distinct? But you have to be pretty honest with yourself. Sometimes you say, oh no, we're so different than everyone else. And then if you do a brand audit and you look at the messaging and you're like, no, actually, you really sound a lot like them. You think that ChatGPT is wrong when you run it through and you go, well, they got it all wrong. No, actually, they looked at your website, they compared to everybody else, and they're actually probably, granted, they probably made some things up because it's AI, but still, self-reflection.
Self-reflection. That's excellent. All right, so let's shift gear. You said it, AI. What are some best practices for AI with you and your clients in the marketing industry right now?
So one of the things that I do pretty quickly once we get through the brand personality piece of the branding strategy work, or even for my own business, is I create custom bots so that I'm writing in the style, tone, and voice of the brand. You can upload different things and you can copy and paste things, but when you do the custom bot, and then you also teach it to say, don't include jargon, don't be negative, don't be snarky, blah, 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 all the do's and the don'ts. But that, it's not going to get you all the way there. It's still going to be, a lot of work on your part to the back and forth, but it does get you a little bit farther ahead than starting from scratch. So that's one of the things that I like to do, just because, again, I don't have a lot of time to go back and forth with AI and coach it every single time as my junior copywriter or whatever it is. So I give it a strong assignment. I tell it to a Pulitzer Prize winning writer or whatever the case is. I give it the assignment. And then I'm also making sure that I'm using the custom bot that I need to, just for consistency.
So can you tell when something's written in AI, and does it matter to you?
It doesn't necessarily matter to me.
Okay.
But yes, I'm the M dashes, you can tell.
Yes.
It's right. And some people really love them. I've never liked them.
No.
If it says something like real and actually, I'm like, really? It's like, right. By the way, I thought myself to be a very kind, considerate, compassionate boss, but I am horrible compared to AI. So if there's a rise of the machines and they come out to get me, I'm in big trouble because I'm just not
mean to it.
I'm very mean to it.
Do you teach it your own cliches? Like everybody when I writes, it's just natural. We all use our own personal cliches. It's just what we do. Do you teach the bot like, hey, here's my cliches. If you're going to use any, here's the ones.
You know what? I don't. I feel like maybe I should, because it's not.
There you go. Breakthrough. There you go. Podcast breakthrough. You're gonna start doing it that way.
There you go.
So when you do your marketing, it seems like you're more warm. But let's ask both. What is a cold marketing strategy you're using right now, and give an example, and then a warm marketing example that's effective right now?
So honestly, neither. I'm so lucky. This is the blessing of having worked at Disney and being a serial networker. So I'm pretty good at keeping up with people even in the Wayback Time Machine, and reaching out to them. And especially as you're starting your business, you're changing roles in a different company or within the company, telling people what you're doing now and connecting those relationships again, and kindling them. But what I would say is every business that I have amassed in my 2.5 years at Butler Marketing Group has all been through my network and referrals. So I'm very blessed.
Nice and easy. Do you use like a certain CRM or any systems to keep in touch? Because nobody can remember everybody.
No.
You just wing it?
I probably should. At one point in time early on, I had like an Excel spreadsheet, which I probably could put now in like Zapier and whatever, and have it, output all these things and be like, this was the last time you talked to so-and-so, and it's now like 120 days. You should reach out again. Nope.
What about your clients? You got to sit down and they've got to have some kind of marketing plan, right? Do you do warm marketing strategies with your clients?
No, not at this point. It's more so right now, but on the brand strategy piece, the marketing strategy piece, building the strategic marketing roadmaps, the dashboards, the how do you measure success, what should the projected lift be, et cetera, the creative development, all that stuff. So no, not yet. I'm just, at one point in time, it'll all come about, and I'll be asking you and your listeners and your previous guests what they recommend. How about that?
So basically you would set up the structure for them. You build the building, you frame out the building. You just don't put anything in the building. Like you frame it out for them, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is the starting spot. Like without the foundation, they don't know where to go.
Correct. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
honestly, it's going back to the fundamentals. A lot of times people skip to the really sexy fun stuff. And I recognize that the fundamentals may not be that, but
Got it.
there's a reason why those principles still exist today.
So this may not be as helpful. So the next question is talking about video marketing. So I'm sure you have at least a conversation with your clients about video marketing and where it fits in all of their structure and setting things up. What kind of conversations do you have with them in that regard? A quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
So when I think about video marketing, I immediately go to shows. I go to video content like YouTube and podcasts and so forth. I have my own show on YouTube and wherever you watch or listen to shows in different podcast platforms. But one of my clients is starting a podcast. And so we've been spending a great deal of time talking about what's the purpose of that channel.
Got it.
Where does it fit in the funnel? What is its reason for being? And what should the audience be? And what is its meaning relative to all the other marketing channels that they own, right? Because a podcast or whatever you start is more of an owned channel versus an earned in social media, like where I might share my clips of my show, for example. So you do need to figure out its purpose and how you want to leverage that content.
So you have a time and a place and an audience, all that's part of the branding that you help them set up in the very, very, very beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever have to pivot and say, hey, listen, we set this up, but something's happened along the way where I think your audience may be this now, or AI's changed. Do you ever take a shift, or is it like full steam?
You know what? Not yet, but you never know. You never know what twists and turns come around. I've got another client and they have a ton of video content that they're trying to figure out how do you make use of 17 hours worth of content? Where are the nuggets? Right. Yeah. And so we went through, and the first thing was an inventory of what are the nuggets and inventorying basically all the themes that tie to brand pillars for their business and tell their story in a unique way. And then tagging all those with timestamps so that as we build out the strategy for this year, you can reach back and you have that at the ready, you can find that content.
Oh, it's almost like a documentary about the Civil War. I mean, you have all this stuff and you have to like put it all together and it's got to make sense, right? That's 100%. Kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow. That is wild. All right. So this one's too, you plenty, you have tons of confidence. You've done all the things you've worked for big companies. You have the experience. How about somebody who isn't sure? They're like, I have this company. I'm doing really well. I don't have the confidence to commit to a brand. How do you have the conversation about setting a brand and being confident in it and moving forward with it and making sure everything's in alignment?
Okay. So I'm going to sort of answer your question, but not totally.
Okay. Do it.
Here's why. I don't necessarily think it starts with just being confident. And here's why. I think you start by starting.
Oh, that's good.
There are people. So this is an analogy. When I first taped my show, Marketing with Bourbon, I taped like 12 episodes in January and February of last year. I hadn't even seen one raw footage before I finished taping all of them. Then I look at them and I go, there's 100 things I would change. So I'm starting to. But when I was nervous about going in and taping the first of the shows, I reminded myself, someone had a baby today and they're bringing it home from the hospital and they don't know how to be a parent. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to start by starting and I will figure it out along the way. And I think that when you start by starting and you give yourself permission to fail as fast and as sloppy as you want, then you build up that confidence over time. You just figure it out. So I don't start with the confidence. I just start with the doing. And I think that your confidence builds over time.
Do you have to do like periodic reflections then? Like, do you set up like, hey, every quarter, every month, every week? Like, how do you set that up? How do you organize the reflections?
Yeah, honestly, like for me, I look at the raw footage and I'm like, man, that was just, again, I would have done like 100 things differently. But you can have sounding boards. You can ask other people for feedback. You kind of know when you're on and you know when you're not having a good day too. Make note of that along the way.
So you kind of make yourself the customer for a little while, and then once you've made an assessment, you step in and actually ask the customers, but you start kind
Yeah,
of like being the customer first.
exactly. Yeah.
Got
And
it.
in fact, most of the time, if you want to know how consumers behave, observe your own behavior. Put yourself in
Yeah.
that situation, and you're probably not all that different from the target audience that you're trying to reach.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice. All right, so you're doing all the things. You're working big companies. You're got your own business now. You're fixing all the. You got hacked recently, so you're doing a million things at one time. How do you avoid? What things do you do to avoid burnout? What things do you do to recharge?
I work at an infrared sauna a couple times a week, and so that
Wow,
that is
that's
good.
intense. That's good.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
it's intense. Um, honestly, I'm not a good person to ask this question because I hit
You
a
don't.
wall over the holidays, and it took me a couple days. Everyone's like, "New year, new you." It's January 5th, and I'm like, "Yeah, not feeling it yet. Nope, still need a couple more days." Um, what I would say is, as a solopreneur, I have been sprinting a marathon for 2.5 years, and I
Wow.
know on paper and mentally that is not sustainable. I work 6.5 days a week, which is why I try to start my day a little bit later so I can hit the gym, or end my day so I can somehow hit the gym, or just get out, just work from
Yeah.
home. All my clients are remote. So you have to get out of your environment and go somewhere creative. Fortunately, I live 15 minutes away from Walt Disney World. So often I did this on Sunday. I take my laptop, I sit outside one of my favorite places, I grab some bubbles, and I'm sitting there drinking bubbles or a bourbon, and I work until my laptop battery dies. And that is like peace out, stop. And so that gives me roughly 4 hours of work. And then I close my laptop and I have fun.
That's that's a great. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. 15 minutes from Disney. That's the happiest place in the world. It's probably emulating some of those positive vibes your way.
Exactly, right?
That's
But
me. All right,
so
so now
burnout
you
is
have to
real.
pick, and
And
it's going to be tough. It is real.
what's that?
Sorry.
What's that? I missed what
No,
you
no,
said.
sorry. I missed it there. Um, I got to go back now. Burnout. You said. Oh, so now we'll cut this part out. I'll just edit the little section out
Okay.
where I screwed up. Um, it's like picking your own child. So you're a bourbon person, so you know what the next question is going to
Yes.
be right now, because I know things change, season change, taste change. Right now, what's your favorite bourbon?
I'm a Woodford girl. I'm a Woodford neat. And honestly, I don't know much about bourbon. I'm hoping that when I have more people on my show, we're going to talk more about bourbon
Well,
and
bourbon.
food
Okay.
pairings and all this good stuff. But yeah, I have like 17 or 8 bourbons in my house right now in my bourbon bar. And most of them still have the
Mhm.
plastic on them because I have a feeling that they're going to be dangerously good and going to go down too.
That happens a lot. Yeah. So you're like, wow, that was too delicious. But I'm with you. I usually pair my bourbons these days because I'm getting older with the foods. So if, let's say
Yes.
last night my wife made some bison chili, which was really good. But then I paired it with a very specific bourbon that goes with it. So like I'm with you. I'll start pairing it up now and eating the food with the bourbon, not just at random.
I think I need all the details. So I don't know if you're going to put this in the show notes, but I want that chili recipe and I want to know what bourbon you paired it with.
So there was a local bourbon. It's called it's concocted. We talked about it a little bit before we went on the show. It's in Virginia, and they do a sriracha. So it's kind of like the bourbon, but it's got like a little spicy to it as well. So it mixed really well with the chili that already had a little kick to it.
That
And
sounds
so
amazing.
oh, it was, yeah. So see, that's I'm doing my whiskeys and my bourbons these days with the foods because I'm
I
getting
love
older and I just can't sit around and drink like I used to.
I love it. So that's totally not the question they thought you were going to ask me because I have 4 standard questions at the end of my show. And one of them is if you were bourbon, what bourbon would you be and why?
Oh, okay. All right. Are you asking me then? Am I putting I'm putting on
Sure.
the
Yeah. Why
spot?
not?
So again, I believe it's like seasonal. Like I go through phases, and I go through like my favorite bourbon now. If you ask me in 4 months, it's going to be different. And it's going to be different.
Okay.
It's going to be different. Um, yeah, right now it is the concoction because
Okay.
it's that time of year. We also have a really good one locally that's Tobacco Barn that they distill right over here in St. Mary's County near us. And they do a cinnamon one for the fall,
Oh,
which is
Oh,
really
that
good
sounds
with like
delicious.
some apple cider. Yeah. So they
Oh,
called it Molly Dyer because during the 16 aughts, a woman was burned for being a witch on the farmland. And so
oh,
they named it after her because Molly Dyer
wow.
was this witch. Yeah. So
Wow.
Molly Dyer, and was my favorite because it was the season for it. But I think I'm moving into the concocting. But if you ask me again in 2 months, it'll be a different one. And if you ask me in 2 months, it's gonna be a different one.
That Molly Dyer sounds like would make an excellent hot toddy with
Yeah, it
cinnamon.
did. Yeah. It did a hot toddy, and like I said, with some with some cider because it's cider
Okay.
season too. You put the cider in there and mix it. Yeah. So for Halloween, we put it all in a big crock pot and put the cider in there and put the Molly Dyer in there and some cinnamon sticks. And so while the kids are walking around trick or treating, we just have our little adult to go cups.
Man, where have you been all my life, Billy? Seriously.
It's good, it's good, it's good. All right, so here we go. We're going to finish off with you. You're going to talk about your business and then how people get a hold of you if they're looking to restructure and rebuild their business. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Awesome. All right. So Sheila Butler of Butler Marketing Group. I would love to work with any of you if you're interested in personal branding, if you've got a career pivot, if you've got a product launch, a company that's expanding and you need to redefine what your brand is, or you need the marketing North Star and the marketing strategies to go along with it on how to execute. Happy to chat. People can reach me at Sheila@butlermg.com for Butler Marketing Group. And really, essentially, I create marketing that leaves a legacy for small, medium, and Fortune 500 companies at a fraction of the cost.
Ma'am, thank you for your time and your knowledge. All the experience you have with such big businesses is really going to help people find their niche, even if they're small and mediums, because doing what the big guys do and filling in those white spaces is very important to them. So thank you for your time today.
Yes, indeed. What a pleasure. Thank you so much.